To our Facebook live show with his Help Desk with Joe, and I have Justin joining us today. So you're watching our Patch Turned Up show here in our studio in Spencer, West Virginia, and today's show number 33, episode 57 of our broadcast and our podcasts, and we're going to start our live podcast. So here we go. This is David with Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. You're listening to Help Desk with Joe. I have with me today Joe, and we have a guest, Justin. This is episode 33 of our podcast series. Make sure you tune in for more podcast information and music here at our Patch Turned Up Studio. And as we get going, Joe, Help Desk with Joe.
We're back again.
We have our guest with us today, Justin.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so getting a little bit of work in as far as talking about tech stuff and getting Justin involved. And Justin, you're an old tech guy from way back when. You used to do the techno music and make your own CDs. And
playing around on the computer a lot. Did some minor website design type stuff, HTML back in the day. So a lot of fun to be had with computers back then.
Back in the day. Yeah. I like it. All right.
I have to say, Dave, it's kind of awkward because I'm used to just us and then having a younger person that does not get our what we call older age references. Having Justin here that will probably catch almost, if not all, of our older references, it feels kind of different.
It does indeed. Emerson's out golfing. She's one of our golf team gurus, and so she's out during golf season, and then Kale is busy with soccer, so it's just us old folks. And Justin, you split the road, though. How old are you?
35.
35, so kind of middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you might get some of the references. I don't know. We like to go back to old school references a lot on like video games and old movies, and so I don't know. We could test his knowledge. You can give him a quick test, Joe? Throw something retro out there, that computer based or video game based.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew you was gonna put me on the spot.
Okay, so let's think. Okay, so Justin, have you did you play the original Nintendo?
Yes, I did. Duck Hunt.
Mario. Okay. Well, he's getting there then.
Yeah. Not Atari though. I never played Atari.
Okay, so you qualify, so you're good.
Okay. All right.
I passed. All right.
Yeah. The funny thing is, with the Duck Hunt games, the old light guns.
Yeah.
Don't work with LED, LCD televisions. But and I just know this from one of the companies we deal with. They actually had to recreate a new light gun. They call it a retro light gun that actually works with the LCD TV. Something to do with the flash of the old tube TVs that LCDs just did not understand how to comprehend that.
Who would have thought,
Yeah.
Break out your old retro Nintendo, get out the old Duck Hunt game, you're like, the gun's probably broken. Yeah. But really, it's a TV issue.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. All right, well, as always, Help Desk with Joe. Joe, you and A&M Digital Technologies, you and Cena work hard behind the scenes with our patch stuff, but you also do a lot of stuff to help out the common fellers out there and gals that need technology help. So let's get started on your news updates for the show.
All right.
And you got an ISO update.
Yes, iOS update. Last week we talked about Apple's new announcements of some of the new products coming down the line. Now, Justin, just to gauge here, are you an Apple or Android user?
I've gone back and forth, but currently Apple.
Okay. You notice the big sigh.
Yeah.
So, have you gotten the new iOS update yet?
Not yet. They've been bugging me about it, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay, so this applies to you, so we'll get your reaction on this. So, for years, Apple, in their infinite wisdom, said, here is our apps. There's no other apps better than ours, so deal with it. As part of the new iOS 14, some of the new changes are coming down the line that you can actually now finally change your default web browser and email client apps. So instead of having to use Safari as the default app or Apple Mail as your default app, those other apps, those other third-party apps like Chrome and Firefox, stuff like that you've had to download and then manually use, you can actually go through now on iOS 14 and change those as your defaults.
Really?
Yes.
Justin, what are your thoughts? Do you have anything to do with that stuff, or do you care?
Well, I will say I am a PC guy, but just the phone only. The iPhone is what I use.
Right.
So I don't have too many issues with the iPhone by default opening up a certain browser. I just always use Chrome. I just click on that every time, and then the Gmail app.
Okay, so from your standpoint, are you going to find it a little easier when you click that link in the email that it's just going to automatically open to Chrome instead of having to go through Safari and all that nonsense?
I don't mind Safari. It's okay. So it won't be a huge deal for me, but there's probably some other things coming down the pike that you're going to try to improve that it sounds like you're not too happy about how it has been.
Well, so is it just familiarity with Chrome that everybody likes Chrome, or does Safari actually have issues?
Well, Safari for years has been kind of put in the same bucket as Internet Explorer. It hasn't been the best browser around. It's just something that they've tolerated, and I think since Android has done it for years that Apple's finally starting to come late to the party going, if we still want to hold a footstool in the marketplace, we better start changing with the times.
Because I know, is Bing still around?
Yes. Well, that's what was funny is the new versions of Microsoft Edge, which is in Windows 10.
Right.
They are basing those off the Chromium web browser, which Chromium is the open source version of Google Chrome, so it all comes under the same umbrella. So if you open up the newer version of Edge, it looks very similar to Google Chrome because Microsoft finally realized that there's somebody out there better than them that can do a web browser.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I wasn't sure. I'm a Google guy.
I am too.
I just stick with Google, and I see some of the other ones, and I knew the Edge comes out, and I know my Microsoft program tries to get me to go to Edge.
Yeah, and anytime Windows does a big update, there's always an quote-unquote issue that they have to put, that there was an incompatibility issue that they defaulted back notes, Windows saying, you will use our products. It's funny. It's almost like they've swapped positions. Windows always just use what you want, and Apple's always you will use our stuff. Now Apple's saying, okay, go ahead and use what you want, while Microsoft's saying we'll use what we tell you to use.
Right. Interesting. Changing, and then with Apple, you did a review or an update not too long ago talking about how Apple's dropping their phones down into the mid-range.
Yeah, with the iPhone.
losing a little bit of that exclusivity and working with medium range phone people.
Yeah, they still have the high range phones, but then they've released the new version of the iPhone SE, which is starts about $400.
Yeah, so you're right, reversing roles.
Yeah,
iPhone's getting more i products, I guess, are getting more common, while Microsoft is getting more finicky.
Yeah.
Interesting how that works. Okay, all right. Well, what else? Anything else on that update, or
that's the big change coming right now to iOS 14 and that's what everybody's excited about in the Apple realm, is they can actually get away from Apple's toehold on our email products, our web browser products,
right.
That you can actually use your phone with the way you want.
Okay. Well, good stuff for Apple users, I guess. Or we'll find out. I'm sure you'll have some feedback here pretty soon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it won't take long.
Yeah. That's what I figured. The technology world works fast. Okay. YouTube update.
Yes.
I got that one right. I had to try to use my memory cells for that because I can't see it on my Facebook deal. Once I type it in, it's kind of gone, which is weird. But anyway.
That's for your convenience, Dave.
Yeah, I know. So YouTube update. Fill us in, man.
Okay, so YouTube has finally realized that there's no better moderation than human moderation because their artificial intelligence systems just aren't quite as good as what the human is.
Really?
Yes.
And what sense are we talking about?
So when the pandemic started, companies were sending employees home in droves. Just if you can go home, stay home, and don't get out for anything. So as a result, as everybody was leaving, YouTube just flipped a switch to turn on the artificial intelligence system for the censorship, inappropriate material, blah, 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 blah. Well, the AI system was just a little too strong on their controls, and it was falsely flagging stuff, pulling stuff down that was quote-unquote inappropriate, and just based off their algorithms, it created more of a mess than anything.
Oh, boy. Lots of backlash from their end, I assume.
Yes. So YouTube told Financial Times this week that the greater use of AI moderation has led to significant increase of video removals and incorrect takedowns. So around 11 million videos were removed from YouTube between April to June, says Financial Times, and that's about double the usual rate.
Justin, did you have any of your videos flagged and removed?
No, I listened to some podcasts where folks were kind of scratching their head, wondering why they're being removed. People that make a living off of YouTube, and that's their whole thing. They're suddenly saying, well, what am I doing wrong to where I'm getting flagged and taken down when I wasn't before? So I've heard about it a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I ran into. It was a few of the podcasts I've listened to. Right at the end of the show, they say, we're having issues with our content being pulled from YouTube.
Right.
Check out our other media formats.
Huh. Okay. Is that... how much do you say it doubled almost?
It doubled.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty significant, especially, and I'm sure the ones that you do that for a living will definitely notice that, because that's something that will impact them financially. So they're going to have a particular interest to that.
Right. And they said around 320,000 of those takedowns were appealed, and half of the appealed videos were reinstated.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wonder what type of content were they getting appealed for? Because I don't know a ton about. I mean, we do YouTube videos that kind of save to drop on our Facebook page for Patch.
Right.
They're all educational, so we don't have any issues. What kind of issues do you think they're running into?
I'm going to speculate and probably just a trigger word.
Like, please.
And
stuff.
Yeah.
That they normally would get away with, but for some reason they're not now.
And it's completely, basically taken out of context. If it let's say it's a hunting podcast and they're talking about the hunting equipment and all that, which they've done 1,000 times before and nobody's had any issue, then all of a sudden the AI system kicks in and says, oh, they said this word, well, that's got to be bad regardless.
Kind of like saying, Alexa, Lunatic Fringe, volume full.
Yes.
You know what that's about, Justin?
Nope. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good test. That went right over my head.
Okay.
Yep.
You want to explain it, Joe?
Okay. So the echo dots. Okay. That Alexa. If you say that and
Alexa.
somebody's listening, most of the time it'll kick them off.
Yeah. So Alexa, that kicks it off. Lunatic Fringe is a song, and then volume full turns the volume all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's somebody somewhere.
Alexa users, you're welcome.
Yeah. So every episode, Dave tries to trigger somebody's echo.
Through the podcast.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go. That, and for listeners out there, you can thank Joe. He taught me that one. And I like it. Just in my head, I'm giggling because somebody somewhere is just like, "What the heck is a Lunatic Fringe song all about from the '80s?"
Yeah.
And why did my thing kick up the full volume? Well, you're welcome. Joe taught me a trick, and I'm using it.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Burger King ran a commercial a couple years ago during the Super Bowl, but they did that exact thing. Yeah. And what was funny was they had linked it with the Wikipedia entry for the Whopper.
Yeah.
So when they did the commercial, it started, the echo would kick on and then start reading the Wikipedia entry. Well, people started finding that out and started editing the Wikipedia. So next time somebody did it, it said, the Whopper's chock full of toenails and fingernails and stuff.
Nice. Interesting. Okay.
And Burger King, I think, got in a little bit of trouble over that, but
yeah.
But it was funny either way.
It seems like the issue with YouTube is there's not enough people on the planet to monitor all the videos.
There's
be some sort of AI component.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I mean, you just worked with Pam, our preschool instructor, and uploaded 3 videos.
3 videos today, and that's going on. Every day,
everywhere. Yeah, right. It's amazing. 6 billion people and probably 4 billion are doing YouTube stuff.
Yeah, I heard a number a while back of how much content gets pushed to YouTube in an hour. And I mean, it's like days worth of content within an hour. Like if you took all the videos that was uploaded within an hour, it'd take you like 2 or 3 days. Well, somebody's
listening from YouTube.
All of it.
I'm upset with them because it's really hard to do the live videos. The start and stop procedure stinks. They changed it here in the last couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah, and there isn't like a start go live button. It's just you kind of hit the go live and then it automatically goes. Oh. There's no way to kind of moderate a start stop.
So you just have to edit it later. It's like extra time.
It stinks.
Yeah.
It was good, but now
it's kind of an all or nothing deal. There's no
in between. You know how Facebook, you can sit there and kind of get all your stuff set up and then go live.
Right.
Can't do that on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's just that when you go from your dashboard to go live, it goes live.
Yuck.
So you kind of got to be ready to go. I don't know.
Or they'll end up like a lot of these news stories when they go live to the field and you have the news anchor standing there messing with their hair.
Yeah, picking their nose.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pain. It was nicer a couple weeks ago and then something updated. So.
Well, that's for your convenience.
Yeah. Anyway. So Justin, you're kind of a homesteader going down that road. Have you started doing YouTubes or vlogs or blogs or podcasts? What do you got going on, man?
No, it's my first podcast ever.
Ever?
Right here.
Okay.
So maybe I'll get the bug.
There you go. Yeah.
That or will just scare you off completely, just avoiding it at all
Nah,
costs.
Justin's one of those guys. He's a doer. So I see a podcast in his future.
I love podcasts. There's so much good information out there.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, Dave, we've kind of stayed on course so far. We haven't taken a complete left turn like we normally do. So
I agree.
You know, he's sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is all great for now."
Until you get drugged so far off track, you can't remember where you started.
Yeah, we're sitting there looking around, going, "Okay, how did we get here?" Then we have to backtrack. It's like,
I can't remember what. Yeah, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can't remember what we're supposed to be talking about. And the whole time I'm thinking, Cena would be just smacking us in the back of the head, saying, "Boys, come on now." But hey, that's how it works sometimes. When you're doing work, you know.
Yeah.
You got to follow that rabbit hole wherever it goes.
Exactly.
All right, well, there you go. YouTube update. Tons of censorship going on, and they're working to fix it. Okay. All right. News story 3, and hold on, give me a second. I might pull it out.
Okay.
Nope, got nothing.
Okay. Roku.
That's
Yes.
right, Roku. And you had asked me if I'd done anything with Pluto, and I did not.
Okay.
I haven't watched TV in a couple weeks, man. It's been kind of nice.
Well, I figure so. Well, I just like Pluto because there's a whole news section. I just completely avoid that at all costs and just go on to
stay off the news.
Yeah. So, NBC Universal's Peacock streaming service is now available on Roku.
So it seems,
Okay.
and I don't use any of it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to follow along with this is show 33.
Right.
So I get all my technology updates once a week from you. And it seems like the lines are being blurred from who's on which
Service.
provider, service, or whatever, and it changes.
Yes.
Seems to change from my perspective anyway, constantly. So now, because didn't NBC have their own? Didn't you do the show, and that was an update, was NBC had its own through Peacock?
Yes.
Because I remember talking back to how that refers back to their original logo.
Right.
And they had their own.
Right.
And now they're dumping over onto Roku.
No. This is when they launched. They was available on everywhere but Roku.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they don't have their own.
They had their own service, but as far as offering the service on the streaming
Other platforms. Okay, okay. And so they were everywhere but there.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The biggest player in the game, they was not there.
Wow. That's right. I remember you saying that. That's right. They didn't hit the main one.
Yeah.
So now they did. What do you think changed?
They finally, both of them knuckled under and finally said, okay.
They said we got to?
Yeah, said after months of negotiations leading to public showdown last week between NBCUniversal and Roku, the streaming service Peacock is now on Roku. Peacock, which offers a combination of content, launched in July, and it took till this week for it to become available on Roku.
Nice.
And they said it's unclear just how much Roku and NBC compromised on the advertising inventory split in order to make the deal work. Ad inventory, the biggest holdup in this situation, refers to the percentage of ads Roku takes control over once they're served on its platform. So basically dollars and cents.
Right. Just a money negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay. So I assume that'll be good for everybody.
Yeah, and basically on Roku's website, the company says a channel, which would in this case would be Peacock, controls 70% of its ad inventory, where Roku takes over the remaining 30%. So, in my standpoint, I don't see how that's just standard operating procedures. I don't know why there was such
a big issue.
Yeah,
maybe they just need an excuse.
Probably
That's
or they
hard to
wanted
know.
to go down, 71 to 29 or some nonsense like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because I mean, if it was a 50-50 split, okay, I can understand.
Right.
But a 70-30 split, I mean, come on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you say Roku's the biggest.
Yes.
So who else is in that? Is that like the Fire Stick? Is that part of it? And
Yeah.
Apple TV?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Roku, those devices.
I didn't realize Roku was that popular. I thought it was maybe kind of.
Well, it was one of the first, right?
Yeah, it was one of the first that kind of came on the scene, and they've made such a splash and been able to stay consistent with everything that that's what made everybody else play catch up, going, ooh, there's money to be made in this market. Let's go ahead and make our own version of it and stamp our logo on it.
Yeah. And I've been hearing Peacock mentioned a number of times.
What do you call those? Like,
streaming devices.
Yeah. Sounds like they're trying to make a pretty good push. NBC is to get in the streaming game.
Yeah, I've actually downloaded their app, and it's pretty nice way they have it set up. They have a free version and a paid version. Of course, paid version you get more, but even with the free version, there is a lot of content that you can cover that for absolutely free.
So there's Hulu, Broadnet, Vimeo, Philo. Jeez. Let me see what it says. Netflix, of course. HBO has their own. Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Sling, Fubo, Crackle. Yeah, those are just some of the lists, just to give you an idea. There's a whole bunch of them. That's craziness.
Yeah. Now, Dave, I know you'd like this one. They actually have a channel dedicated to Saturday Night Live classic clips.
Oddly enough, though, I didn't watch Saturday Night Live very much.
Really?
No.
I'm shocked.
I know. You're probably the fourth or fifth person. Like, Corey Clarkson always tells me, he's like, hey, man, you remember Saturday Night Live? And I'm like, no, I don't. But we always talk about spoofs, from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and as much as pop culture knowledge that you have, I am absolutely shocked.
Yeah, I don't have any Saturday Night Live.
So, Justin, where do you fall in on this?
Saturday Night Live watcher or not watcher?
No, not big time, but I was Chris Farley fan back in the day.
Yeah,
I thought he was just the funniest thing when I was younger.
Yeah,
that's what I like. That's why I like the channel. It has a lot of the older content, like the stuff that we think's funny. I've tried to watch the newer stuff, and in my opinion, just not as good. But
yeah, it's hit or miss. Hit or miss. And I've only watched a couple of them.
I watched one when the quarantine started because I wanted to see how they handled that. But after the fourth skit of everybody zooming on, zooming in, I was like, that's old.
Yeah, some of them don't age too well. It seems like within a couple of years, you're like, why did anyone ever think this was?
Where's the appeal?
Well, and that's what's bad is Jimmy Fallon got called out a while back over skit he did back in the 90s, and it's like
a Chris Rock impression.
Just one of those. That didn't age very well. But
he had a lot of comedians apologizing for stuff they did back in the day.
And it's one of those. It must be a slow day in the political correctness world. You got to pull content up from 30 years ago to.
Hey, look what happened here. Look how bad it is now.
Well, it's not like he did it last week. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's how it works, though. All right. So.
Wonder if you ever heard anything about, we're talking streaming, but the other end of physical locations like Redbox, are they doing well? Is that a thing that'll be gone, disappear in 5 years, or is there a place for that, you think?
Well, at least in rural West Virginia, there's still always going to be a place until broadband comes through. Honestly, I've not heard anything from Redbox, but I'm going to speculate and say with the pandemic hit that their numbers had to go through the roof like everything else.
Okay, so in November 2012, Redbox had 42,000 kiosks.
In 2012, okay.
In 2016, they had 51.8% of the rental market. I mean, we're talking 5 years ago. Let's see, is it still popular? In 2017, they added 1,500 kiosks. Yeah, I mean, it still looks popular then.
Yeah, here we go, browse all boxes. I was trying to see if I could find a...
But here's, Yahoo News said that unless Redbox does something quite radical, the company will be out of business by 2025. Because you can rent its movies online now through a video on demand platform, and Redbox is even offering a new free streaming service. So there you go, Redbox changing into the streaming game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so. Redbox kiosks are owned by or franchised out, I guess. Does that seem right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I know there's at least 2 in Spencer, right? There's one at Walmart and then one at Dollar General.
Yeah. So they're still out there. Okay.
Yeah, because I was looking into one time, and it was one of those like They don't give them just to anybody. Like
Right.
you have to, based on your location, you have to have such traffic patterns. I mean, there's hoops you have to jump through to make sure that you have enough foot traffic or people stopping in to actually justify having.
So, and Redbox is an American/Canadian video rental company owned by Apollo Global Management.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now here's the next question. Now that there hasn't been next to no movies out since January, after the first of the year, what are they going to fill those boxes full of?
Yeah.
That's a great point. Video games.
It's usually Nicolas Cage movies for the most part. He does like 3 a year, it seems like.
So no Nicolas Cage fix after Christmas, you're saying?
Yeah.
Thanks, Justin. You just ruined everybody's Christmas now.
Am I imagining this, or did Netflix used to be mailed to your house? Is that right?
Yeah, that's how they started, yeah.
Okay. I thought I imagined that for a second.
What?
Yeah, that's how Netflix...
Yes. No way.
Yes, that's how Netflix started. They started out as your at-home Blockbuster video sent by through the mail, so they would mail you
Through
DVDs.
the mail.
Yeah, you would go on their website and create your queue, and you would... so you paid a monthly subscription, so there was no...
That's
late fees.
craziness.
Yeah, their tagline was no late fees, keep as long as you
I
want.
do remember that. No late fees ever.
Yes. So you can keep a movie for 6 months. As soon as you send it in, they'd send you the next one out of your queue.
Yeah.
And then they started getting into streaming. They was the first ones into streaming.
Huh.
And that's why that's where we are today.
By golly. Justin, point out the old school reference.
Well, I thought surely that had to be some other company, not Netflix, because they're so different now that
Yeah.
it's unrecognizable now.
Okay, now here's what's really scary is, did you know that they still do DVD rentals?
No, I didn't.
What?
Yes. We have one customer, they live over in Calhoun County, in the remote part where internet, it's pretty much non-existent, and they still do the DVDs by mail. I was still shocked that, because I was there one day working on some stuff, and she had the Netflix envelope sitting on her table. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it says Netflix will still mail you DVDs if you do a separate DVD subscription plan.
Ah.
They have standard, let you rent one disc at a time, or Premiere, where you can rent two. That is crazy. Okay, and they say your DVDs will arrive in about 2 days. For a monthly fee. Unlimited plan starts at $7.99 a month. No late fees. Ever.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Holy cow. All right. Well, we've gotten off topic and went through the whole streaming debate.
Yeah.
Now, where's Pluto fall? Remind me about Pluto.
Okay, Pluto is like Peacock and
Okay.
Hulu and stuff like that. It's just all completely 100% free.
And there was something I liked about it, and I can't remember what.
They
now.
had a channel dedicated to 80s movies.
That's right. Our
Yes.
next podcast, 80s movies. So, Justin, we kicked around. We're going to do another podcast. It's just going to be 80s movies. And we're all going to watch a movie and then,
Review it.
review it, evaluate it, kind of go through what made it special. So,
Well, I think we changed that instead of just 80 movies, just cult classics, period.
Cult
Then
classics.
from basically 90 on back.
yeah,
What'd you have in
maybe.
mind? Any titles spring to mind?
We were talking because we had Emerson in here, who's a golfer, a high school student golfer, and she had never seen like Caddyshack or Tin Cup or any Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yep.
So we were just talking, how if you're a golfer, how do you not see those movies? Caddyshack's on TV all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tin Cup for a while. It used to be on time quite a bit, or on TV quite a bit, but now it's kind of gone. So, and then it's kind of crazy. If you go to rent them, they're like $8 to rent an old movie that nobody watched very much anyway.
Yeah, because that's where we was talking about the new
Yeah.
Bill and Ted movie. 2 weeks before, you could basically watch it on literally the Roku
Yeah.
channel for free, and then all of a sudden the third movie's out. I was like, oh, now it's $5 to rent that movie.
Yep.
To rent the first two movies.
Yeah, if you want to get caught up and stay current with your movie checking out, then all of a sudden it costs you. Interesting. Anyway, so you know,
I'd be up for that.
you're in on the cult classic movie review.
I could probably learn something. There's probably a lot of movies you guys have seen from the 80s that I missed.
Well, I'm a movie buff. I don't watch TV shows, but I watch movies.
Like Ferris Bueller, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yep. I've seen both of those. I don't think I've seen Caddyshack, though.
Okay, now this would be a good test for Justin because Dave said it's a great golf movie.
Yeah.
I say it's overrated.
Justin's a golfer.
Even though considering it has basically the who's who of comedy, Bill Murray, Rodney Dangerfield,
Chevy
Chase, just the who's who, and I watched it and it's just like it was good.
You're too young to get it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You got to be back in those days.
It was good, but it's like, okay, well, let me ask you this, Dave. Have you watched it recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had Kel watch it with me.
Okay.
We started golfing. I was like, as a golfer, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's parts of it that's kind of silly.
Yep.
But I watched it, it's like, to have basically a who's who in it, it was, not to use the golf term, subpar of what I thought it would be.
well, let me ask, what's your favorite movie, Joe?
Oh, we talked about this, Tommy Boy.
That's right, Tommy Boy.
Yeah. That's one of my older movies. That's my go-to.
What's a newer movie that you like that you watched? What's a movie you've watched twice in the last, like, say, 2 months?
Oh, man.
Or 6 months?
That Sadie has a head control of the TV on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a toughie. I haven't watched very many movies here lately that I've gone back and watched twice. I've been going through TV shows. I've been stuck on Longmire on Netflix.
Longmire. I don't even know what that is.
Western?
Yeah, kinda. It's
Do you watch Yellowstone?
I've heard that's good.
No, I haven't watched it, but they say if you like Longmire, you'll love Yellowstone.
Yeah, Zach really likes Yellowstone.
Okay. Yeah, Longmire, it kind of puts you in the mindset of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, yeah.
But they're not shooting at him as much, and it's not pulling Chuck Norris where they shoot a machine gun at him and he just stands there and they miss him completely.
Yeah. He just lets him bounce off his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, and the reason I'm asking, I'm trying to figure out if you like the special effects and the new movies. All the new movies are, so much green screen and special effects that there's not a lot of acting in them.
Right.
And that's where, like, the retro movies, Caddyshack, for instance, doesn't really have a lot of special effects. So if you have to have the special effects and all that stuff, lots of, explosion every 5 minutes, then, yeah, it's going to seem boring.
Right.
Just because... they didn't have that technology back then.
Yeah, that's what I find interesting with the older movies is how much they made and able to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of it surprisingly has aged well. I mean, some of it, like I saw last night, the Jaws Revenge, like the last installment of Jaws movie. I mean, you can tell, that was horrible robotics. But
my kids and I were talking about this in Star Wars. Like the original Star Wars was all done with little models.
Yes.
And everything was real for the most part. The Ewoks, some of the stuff was fake.
Right.
And you could tell, like, when they fall down in the pit at Jabba's deal and the big monster thing, you could tell it's all jerky and I forget what you call that, animation type stuff where they move it a little at a time.
Oh, stop motion.
Yeah, stop motion stuff's kind of sketchy, but all done by hand. Craziness.
Yeah, and Star Wars is one of those movies that just kind of stood the test of time. Even the CGI on it, it's not as bad as what you would think.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so, all right, well, you got a product review for us today.
Yes, I do.
And, of course, we're not setting it on fire or dunking it in water.
Yeah.
But, what do you got there?
Okay, so this is the Hercules Tuff charging station.
Okay.
And basically what it is it comes with USB ports on the side, and so you plug in your charging cables on here, and then you actually have a nice little place to set your devices to keep everything nice and organized and neat, and you don't have cables strung all over the house.
And you don't have your phones falling off shelves, and
And trying to track down, okay, where did I lay it down at this time? And
right. How long have you had this?
We've had it for probably about 6 months.
Where'd you get it at?
We got it.
Is that something you mail order, I assume, like Amazon, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys sell them at your website?
Not yet, but we can.
Okay. All right. So, if you like this product, might be jumping the gun a little bit. Let's see the review.
Yeah.
All right, so tell.
Yes.
So, basic charging unit with shells built in. They're clear.
Yes.
It's got an off button. I saw that.
Yeah. You flip on the on switch, and actually, when they start charging, these little lights
light up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of an ooh and ah factor than anything,
gotcha.
but hey, it works.
All right. So you've had it about 6 months.
Yes.
And all right, what's your take on it?
Okay, so not only do you get this, but it comes with 4 lightning cables for your iPhones, your iPads, one Type-C cable and one micro USB cable, and they're about 8 inches long, so you can plug it in and plug it right into your device, and you don't have extra cables hanging down from it.
So 4 iPhone cables, one C and one regular.
Yes.
Why such a heavy lean towards iPhone?
iPhone, I'm going to assume
they're less common, maybe.
Well, most people, if you have an iPhone, you have an iPad as well.
Ah, I gotcha. It just seems expensive to provide 4 iPhone hookups versus...
Yeah, you'd think they would spread that out 2 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. All right, well, that's what it comes with.
But that's what I thought, too. I thought, oh, you're kind of catering to iPhone just a little bit, aren't you? But,
yeah. Interesting.
But the dividers themselves, they are removable. So you see on the one here, it's about twice the size of the other one, and that's where we put Sadie's Kindle Fire because it has the kid-proof case on it, so it fits in there perfectly. And it has fast charging. So, and when I say fast charging, take a completely dead, like if I take my phone that's completely dead and plug it in full charge, about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So about 10-15 minutes. You have plenty of charge, at least to get you through another hour or two if you're trying to just hurry up and go.
Nice. And how many ports are on there?
There are 6 charging ports.
Okay.
Is fast charging a wire thing, or is it the device itself? And you could use a regular wire with a fast charger? Or how does that work?
It's kind of both. If you have the charging base as a fast charge, and then if your cable itself can support up to fast charging, that's it's kind of both. You really need both. Because if you have just regular cable, a regular cable will work with it, but it knocks it down it funnels it down to that slower charge speed.
Yeah, my brother, he's big on the fast charging, and he's always asking me, are you using a fast charger right now? And I'm like, I have no idea. He only uses the fast ones, and I guess I'm using the slow ones. Yeah.
If you say I don't know, pretty good chance you're probably not.
You do not know. That is for sure.
Yeah, if you don't know if you're using fast charging or not, you're not.
Yeah.
Because you will notice a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've noticed that. We've had a couple go bad, and we're like, man, this thing's charged so slow, and then we got a new cable, and bam, tick right off.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay. All right, well, start out with pros.
Okay, so the pros, fast charging. That was one of my big hits with it. I love fast charging. And
well, it's a pretty good size, so then it's got to have some capabilities.
Right, yeah.
They can pack a lot of hardware in there, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
And then the next thing I like is the dividers. That not only does it have the dividers, so you can actually just stack your multiple devices. I'll just take my phone here and you can just charge it and leave it sitting nice like that, but you can actually make it adjustable to whatever size of device. So if you have a device has a little bigger case, you're not limited. You just pull out an extra divider and you're ready to go.
I'm glad you put your phone in there because I wasn't sure how it would be in there, but yeah, it looks nice. It's low enough yet to let you grab it easy, but high enough to hold it steady.
Right.
Yeah. Nice.
There's not a lot of doesn't have a lot of movement in it.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, looks good. All right.
Okay, and next thing is it helps with the organization with the short cords. Even if you use your own cords, even if it's a longer cord, you can set it where everything's nice, neat, and clean, organized. You don't have just whole tables set out of devices.
Yep, the short cords would be real nice. We have a little hub. I don't know, it's a circular deal that you plug stuff into, but the long cords are always a fiasco.
Right.
Get wrapped up on each other. Reach the floor. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, plus you string them out all across the table, and now you have all everybody's device strung out on the table. Where if everybody's device is here and it's out of the way.
And I assume, holding 6 an iPad. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking. I assume you didn't bring the power cord with you.
No.
Joe. I was going to borrow it.
That's why I didn't bring the power cord.
That's why I was trying to look. I was like, I could test this baby out for a couple weeks and then loan it to Justin, and we could do a full review.
Yeah.
But you're kind of stingy with it, Joe. You didn't even bring the power cord.
Well, I kind of learned after the Tableau, after you asked me where the power cord was on net. I'm not even going to try.
Don't bring the power cord, otherwise we'll lose it. I got you.
That or I'll never see it again.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, all right, just checking.
Okay.
All right, you got any other pros? So that's 2 pros.
So basically that covers. I mean, the fast charging, the dividers, where it keeps everything nice, neat, and clean, organized.
Short cords.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What about the cons?
Now here is cons have always been one of the things that I really have trouble with. Well, this one is a biggie for me. I have
really,
as far as it was really hard for me to find cons. As far as from personal use, I have 0 cons.
Right.
So, in the world of Amazon, if anybody's going to complain,
that's
that'd be the place to go.
I know you do your homework and you always scour the internet to see what other people have said and get some reviews from other people to help add to it. Because last time that ended up being a key factor in a product you reviewed.
Right.
So, what'd you find?
Okay, so the online reviews, and now this is based off of you don't know what or how they're using the device. So the online reviews on Amazon, the biggest complaint people were having was the cables that came included with it.
Right.
Over time, the connector parts were coming off of.
That's it?
Yeah, or the USB ports themselves were going bad. But
how's that happen?
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, you should just leave them plugged in, right?
Exactly. That was my thoughts. I thought, okay, so putting that into consideration, that was a lot of people had complaints about that, and I thought, okay, I've worked IT long enough to know that, what they complain about, you didn't see him beating it with a hammer 30 minutes before you got there.
That's like the guy with his car out there doing burnouts. Well, these tires don't last.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. Justin's laughing because he was just doing burnouts the other day. It's like, how'd you know?
So I'm hard pressed to really hold that knock against them because without seeing it and how they use it, because we use we leave our cables plugged in all the time, and when we're not using, we just flip the switch off.
I wish you left your cables plugged in. It'd been nice if you'd have brought it with the cables sticking out of it and the power cord.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, I'll see what how about this?
I know you're not bringing it back, so never mind.
No, how about this? I'll bring the cord next week.
Don't even spin
I'll
the story.
leave this back, but I'll bring the cord with me next week.
I see how this is going. That's what happens when you work with somebody clever.
Right.
You find a way around it. Justin, you don't get to use it either. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Because Joe's savvy to our ways.
So from my experience, I have 0 cons on this one.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's good. And then, like you said, it's easy to point out the pros because it is a simple device and it does its job.
Yeah.
So, hard to go wrong there. But
what's the price?
Well, now that was going to be the next thing.
Hold on, you got to guess it.
So now this is where we play the Price is Right.
Okay.
I know. I'm glad I'm not on the spot because I stink at this game.
Yeah. So Justin, let's put you on the spot since you brought it up.
Charger comes with
6 cables. 6 cables.
Here's
6
the crazy
ports.
part. They comes with 4 iPhone cables. Those are kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, they can be. If you get them from Apple, they are.
Yeah.
And there's how many? It's 5 ports.
6.
6 ports.
6 ports.
I'm gonna say
fast charging.
$29.99.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go higher than that.
All right.
I gotta say it's at least $50.
Actually, right in the middle, about $40 to $50.
Dave went over, so I went.
This is true.
He was the closest without going over.
I forgot how Price is Right works.
Yeah.
I went over. All right, well, $40. I don't know. You think it's worth the value? You didn't really mention value, Joe. So is that value?
For that price, for what it does, I can't argue with that. I mean, you're basically buying 6 fast chargers if you really think about it. And if you go to the store and buy 1 fast charger, you're probably going to pay $10 to $12 just for one. So to have that and to keep everything nice and organized.
Just the relief it gives you at night when everything in its place, organized nicely.
Right. Well, and if you have kids, you say, put your stuff here, so then you're not tracing all over the house. All right, who lost the phone today? Where's it at? Oh, well, it was almost dead 3 hours ago, and then you try to call it and the battery's dead. Yeah. Or I lost my charger, and
and honestly, like I pulled up Amazon real quick and just put in multi-charging hub, or what, I don't even know what I put in now, but it's $20 to $30 for one that doesn't come with cables.
Right.
Now the problem I have with that is if you don't have an iPhone or an iPad, then you got 4 cables you don't need.
Right. But from our testing, we've used just our regular charging cables, and we've had 0 issues with it.
Well, I just mean you're paying a little extra to get those 4 iPhone cables if you don't need them.
Right.
That's the only downside I could see to that.
Right.
But I know an iPhone guy that I can give those to.
Yeah.
He's got a daughter. She uses iPad. It's all good. Anyway. All right. Well, pretty neat. So, on your 5-star review, Joe, what are you thinking?
Okay. So here we go. This is another one of these rare occasions. I give it the...
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go. It's the 5-star Joe seal of approval.
So Joe's given out 2 5 stars since I've known him, and both of them have been like last month. This is the second one.
Yeah, but I also brought a dud product last week to
I
counterbalance.
I agree. I mean, you don't give these out lightly is my point. And you've nailed 2 of them in a month.
I know.
So,
I need
over 8 years of knowing you and doing these shows, 2 5 stars.
All right, so Justin, I'm going to throw the ball to you.
Holy smokes.
We either need you to recommend or bring in just a complete dud tech product.
Oh, gosh.
So that we can review and just trash horribly, because I brought one in last week that we gave a 2-star review on.
Yeah, it stunk.
Because I told Dave I had to bring something in because it was going to call my credibility in.
You should have sold that
I
to
was
Jack,
bringing in
Zach,
3,
by the
4,
way.
mostly 3 and 4 star review items, and then last week I brought a dud, and I was like, good, this gives me credibility on.
Yeah.
I don't give everything a high
And
rate.
then you bounce right back with a 5-star.
Yeah.
Your second 5-star in 8 years and within 1 month.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's craziness.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got a portable charger that I swear it takes like 2 days to charge, and then you get about 2 charges out of it. So it's
how do you not throw that one away?
it's the only one I've got. So
You're
I'm
just
sticking
stubborn.
with it, yeah.
Just gonna ride this out. you have 2 days for something
It's
to
like
charge.
10 pounds. Yeah. It's a bit of a dud. Maybe I'll bring that in.
Hey, I wonder if it's the same one.
Do you know what brand it
It's
is?
that Anchor, I believe.
Really?
No.
And like Anchor, A-N-K-E-R, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm shocked because Anchor makes great products. Like their charging cables,
Yeah.
they are just, in my opinion, just as good as the branded name brand cables, and you're paying half the cost. I'm shocked.
Mhm.
Yeah, you may want to bring that in. We may have to review that.
Yeah,
Let's take a look.
Justin got a dud. It's all right. It was funny when Joe brought the other product that got 2 stars. He took it down the hall. Zach's like, "Ooh, what is that?"
Yeah,
And
Zach's
he wanted because it looked nice. It looked nice. It looked the part.
Yeah, it was a little handheld. It was a portable charger that had like the AC output and all that, which was great. And it advertised on the online charges laptops, and you can run a CPAP machine
Hey,
and all this.
Don't say much more. Justin's looking for a new portable charger.
Watch last week's episode and
Okay.
stay away from.
You might want to get rid of yours, Joe.
Well, it does charge. I can charge my phones on it.
He
but
needs something to charge his phone. Look where this is going.
I
You're
know.
missing an opportunity. You can unload this 2-star deal
Yeah,
on
but
Justin, and he'll
yeah.
think it's 5 because he doesn't.
I've been
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
using
like.
a 0 this whole
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I like the phone. I like the phone charging capability of it, though. That's why the only reason I'm not trying to unload it.
All right, Jason.
So the AC adapter on it would not, even though it advertised that it would charge your laptop, plug your laptop in, will not charge
Will
it.
not go. Yeah.
And it's to the way that it converts the DC to AC voltage.
So no laptop charging.
Even though it
usage.
advertises,
Yeah.
that's one of their big advertising pieces of it.
And earned itself a 2-star review. Kapow.
Yeah, it got 0 stars if it wouldn't have charged my phone, but that's,
Yeah. And interesting enough, Joe had to go on YouTube or Amazon or somewhere to see a review to see that. Otherwise,
yeah, because I just assumed
it
that
worked, did what it says it's gonna do.
Yeah, it says that it charges laptops, and I thought, okay, great. So then
Yeah.
I started reading reviews because it's one of those, I was having a hard time finding any negatives for it.
Yeah.
So I went to Amazon, and people were relentlessly complaining it does not charge laptops. I thought, I got to try this. Plug my laptop in, didn't even recognize,
Nothing.
didn't even try anything. It just
No power going to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so product manufacturers, make your product. Make sure it does what you say it's going to do. Otherwise, you get hammered on Joe's star review.
Now, just a heads up, Wise, the company we did several
Yeah,
reviews on,
yeah.
they have some new products coming down the line.
Ooh. Now, have you ever heard of Wise products, Justin? Oh,
No.
they're nice. Cheap and nice.
Yes.
It's amazing.
WYZE.com.
Yeah. If I could figure out how to pull it up on this other screen, I would.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
make,
how to dump my stuff over, though.
just click the tab at the top and drag it across. They make very inexpensive security cameras, smart bands like this one, and just like crazy cheap. 20, 30, or actually I think like $30. Yeah, the doorbell. Okay, so we're gonna play Price is Right, Dave. The Wise Video doorbell. How much you think it would cost?
You can see that too, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah. Doorbell.
Yeah, another Price is Right showdown.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I know this one, so I'm ahead of you.
They just announced that this
For
week.
just a single doorbell.
It's a video doorbell,
Video doorbell, like
right.
the Ring, comparable to the Ring.
and
doorbell.
the rings are about $200 a piece.
Well, you're saying it's a great deal, so I'm going to say $60.
Okay, Dave, did you see the price?
No, it's not
Okay.
on there.
Okay, so Dave, what do you think?
The other ones were around 50, so I'm saying around 50.
$30.
Oh,
30.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You see, can you see that, Joe?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, yeah. So headphones coming soon. I remember you were talking about that.
Yeah.
And now they got a thermostat coming.
Yeah, that's coming in 2 weeks. I'm excited about that. I wanted the doorbell. I was this close to ordering the doorbell the other night until I saw it said hardwired only, and I don't have a hardwired doorbell. I was like, oh.
What's that mean? Hardwired only.
It doesn't have a battery. So if you don't have the wiring in your house for a doorbell, that thing's useless unless you go run a new wire for it.
Oh, you could.
Oh, no. Do you mean like an old doorbell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With the hardwired chime in your house and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Yes. Yes, if you have old hardwired doorbell, you can replace that with the Wise Cam.
I see that as kind of good, but yet it's kind of bad because there's a lot of old houses that have doorbells, so now you don't need batteries.
Right.
But if you have a newer house that doesn't come with, like I don't think modular homes and stuff come with them, right?
Right. Yeah, like our house. Our house is older, but we don't have a doorbell.
You don't have a doorbell?
Well, we have one, but we don't have hardwired doorbell. We've got a...
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
How does your house not have a hardwired doorbell? You got a nice brick house. It's older.
Because we have... they just
didn't put one in.
No, so we actually have... We have the Arlo audio doorbell, which runs off battery.
Right.
It works great, even on Frontier. But
how long does the battery last?
Months. Like 6,
okay, so it's not a big deal then.
No.
And I'm amazed that they went with that route, but I mean that's awesome.
Well, knowing Wise, I would say give it probably 6 months to a year, depending on how well this one goes.
Right.
But they'll come out with a battery powered.
I'm sure. I'm just saying that is an awesome idea. I didn't realize doorbells took power.
Yeah. Like the Ring doorbells, those depending on which model, you can get the original Rings were battery powered or hardwired. You had the option of either or. Right. But even with these newer, smarter camera doorbells, depending on which ones you get, you do have to look for if they're wired or wireless.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to original doorbells. Like okay. I didn't realize that a doorbell. I mean, it never occurred to me. I mean, of course, it takes power.
Right.
But how's that work? It's like a phone line. It just has a trickle of power.
It has a trickle of power. Where
does it come from?
I think it.
I'm assuming the chime somewhere has to have power to it.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong on how this is wired, but from my estimation, is the power's ran to the chime, and then from the chime, you run a wire from your chime to the doorbell itself,
and it gets its own power. Because I mean, it can't have like electrical wires. I've seen them, and they got just little wires.
Yeah,
like
it's a very small gauge electrical wire.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, man.
You're not pumping full 110 to it. No.
And it's amazing they got this to work off of that.
Yeah.
That's a small amount of power. It has to be. Those lines are tiny.
Right.
Huh. Okay. All right. So $30.
Yeah. So they haven't announced the headphones or the thermostat. I'm excited about the thermostat.
Yeah. So.
That's
Justin,
the new outdoor cam.
Here's the Wise outdoor cam. You want to guess on price?
Well,
hold on. Tell us what they do, Joe.
Okay, so it's basically like the Wise cam, except it has the outdoor feature.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Let's back up.
Okay.
Maybe we're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, don't look at the price. You already did, though, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
All right, Wise cam.
I tried to.
Explain these real quick, Joe.
Okay, so the square one, that's just the regular Wise cam. That's the Wise cam version 2. It's wired into your house. It plugs into electrical outlet, takes a micro USB. You can set it up as a security camera or a live streaming camera. It even has a micro SD port or SD slot that you can put up to a 32 gig micro SD card into it. It records 1080p. It'll do online 12-second videos. It'll upload 12-second clips to online, free, unlimited storage on that.
So you said 32 gig?
Yes.
It says at
now that's not
6
included.
hours or 7?
Well, it just sets. You can set it to record on just motion. So then you can get several days.
Yeah.
But now the 32 gig card's sold separately. But it does record straight out of the box. If you hook it to your Wi-Fi, it'll send notifications to your phone and you can watch it live. It does two-way audio, so you can actually listen to noise or you can actually talk to the person through the camera.
Now for this past Christmas, I got my brother something like this. I think it was called a Nest.
Yes.
And I spent like $60 or $70 on it. So
yes.
I'm afraid to see how cheap this is going to be.
And the one on the right does all the same stuff, but it just pans with motion, right?
Yeah, you can actually pan and tilt it.
All right.
Yeah, his just has the basic motion
Yeah, pick up.
It'll let him know when somebody's coming around. So.
And either of them do full 1080p high definition.
Wow.
All right. So price them. What you got?
Well, I saw it. $19.99.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I was trying to get down so you could see the name.
That's a third of what I paid.
Oh yeah, $20 and $30. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's price has dropped because it was 30 and 40.
I don't even know what these things are. What's the Wise Sense, Joe?
Those are door sensors.
Oh, okay. And then the light bulb. What's so special about the bulb?
You can turn it on or off with your phone. You just leave your lamp turned on, and you open your phone, and you can turn it on and change colors.
So you could kind of do like your outside light at home. And
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. That would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Coming home late and you didn't plan on, you don't have to leave your outside light on all the time.
Right.
Okay. Same thing with the Wise plug, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And then they got the band, so watch deal that you have that, right, Joe?
Yes, that's what I have, and that's what we actually dunked underwater.
Yeah,
and it
$25.
worked.
$25?
Yes.
Crazy.
It does all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, you can get your phone notifications, text messages. It has Alexa built into it. It has some limitation on the capabilities for Alexa, but it does have Alexa capability and is waterproof for, I don't remember how deep it was for a while.
Well, we did it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Completely submerged it.
No apps though, or could you do like a Map My Run or a running app or GPS?
No, that's the big drawback on it.
Didn't have fitness, yeah.
Yeah. But it does have a heart rate monitor, so you can actually monitor that, and it does remind you to stretch every so often. So if I'm sitting working at my desk for too long, it'll vibrate and go time to stretch. So it does have that and does track your steps.
Does it do sleep monitoring?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So then they have an outdoor cam,
which
wireless, yeah.
Yeah, Wise. I haven't bought them because we have the Arlos already, and Wise has not sent me any. Of course, I've not asked, so that may have something to do with it. But Wise, if you somehow catch this and you want to send it our way, please get a hold of me. I would love to review the outdoor cams.
And then they got headphones on the way.
And a thermostat after that.
Yeah.
And
I want the doorbell.
Pretty good chance they're probably going to be doing a review on the thermostat because Cena saw that and went, ooh. So that's, yeah.
Have they announced the prices on either of those?
No, not yet. Yeah. Not yet. They're coming next week and the following week. So.
Yeah, I mean, with their history, though, they got to be under 40
Yeah,
$50.
I'm excited to see just how low they'll go on the thermostat because...
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You know, Nest thermostats and everybody else is like $200-$300. And
what do you think their secret is? How are they getting their prices so low?
I don't know. That's what has really got me. And this...
everybody else is just pushing the price so high.
That could be, too.
I mean, you see that. You know, a lot of products. Harley pushes their prices up really high when they got popular with lawyers and stuff. You know, across the board. You start paying for a name.
Exactly. Well, and Wise, you know, they're not new. I mean, they are new, but they're not. They've been around for a couple years. So, I mean, it's not like they're...
And your products have stood. You gave them great reviews.
Yeah, we've had ours at least a year with just the two cameras.
Well, hey, we're pushing an hour here.
Right. See, Justin, while we're talking about we're going off the road. I know.
Yeah.
I'll watch Caddyshack.
So, Joe, if anybody has any questions about any of the stuff we talked about today, which you did an ISO update, YouTube update, and Roku, I'm pronouncing it wrong every time, Roku update, and then, of course, a product review on the charging station. So if you got any questions about that, you want to get a hold of Joe, then this is how you get a hold of Joe.
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. Be sure to leave a 5-star review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and anywhere else you get your fine favorite podcasts. So,
there you go.
So check us out. And be sure to listen to the Patch Turned Up app. It's a free app for Android and iOS, all family-friendly music.
Yeah, and of course, can't leave out Cena. Cena does all the heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Yeah, she has a tough job of trying to keep
our main line.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, this is David. You've been listening to Help Desk with Joe, and we're here with Joe and Justin today with Patch Turned Up. Stay tuned in for more podcast, music, news, and updates from our Patch students and about our community. So Patch, community and children first. We'll be back with more. Okay, that was our live broadcast. We concluded our podcast, and we're going to close down our Facebook broadcast because we've been going for an hour. Lots of stuff to talk about. So you've been watching our Help Desk with Joe and Justin here today, and we'll be back with more shows. Make sure you tune in and join us next time. And if you have any comments, questions, or any information you'd like to share with us here about the Help Desk with Joe shows, just let us know and post them, and we'll be happy to get back to you. So many thanks to A&M Digital Technologies for hosting our shows, and we'll be back next week. Today's Thursday, normally we're Wednesday, but we'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Justin, thanks for joining us in. Joe, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.